Today, a new movie called Crater dropped on Disney Plus, and it's a shame that it was dropped onto streaming. Because if this went to theaters, I think it would make a decent amount of money and encourage Disney to try more original stuff like this. I adored this movie. For a movie that went to streaming, this was fantastic, and it tried a lot harder than it needed to. The film very much feels like a throwback to the kinds of kids' movies that Steven Spielberg would do back in the 80s, specifically The Goonies, because to some degree that's kind of what this is. It's The Goonies in space. Now, the plot is vastly different. It's not really a treasure hunting movie or anything like that, but the film's tone and the way the kids interact, very reminiscent of The Goonies. The child cast is fantastic. They all work very well with each other, and their friendships all feel genuine. The script has a really interesting story. It has lots of twists and intrigue. The film is exciting. It has a lot of heart. And it's also not afraid to shy away from some more mature and heavier themes. Again, like a lot of films in the 80s would do, where kids can still watch it. It's still appropriate. But there's also some more mature themes that make them go, yeah, the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There are some dark things you're going to have to face, but you're going to be stronger at the end of it. And I'd even say to some degree it's cleaner than The Goonies because there's not as much language or sexual innuendo like a lot of 80s kids films would have. It's actually pretty clean. I was surprised, apart from a few mild profanities, but it's not super harsh. But I was surprised how clean this was too. And I'll admit, it did not end the way that I thought it was going to. And it ends on a fantastically bittersweet note. It left me both satisfied and tearing up. It tugged at the heartstrings. I loved it. I do think there is a bigger story, though, ultimately, that could have been explored. I think they could have delved a little bit deeper into the world building, this dystopian space society, but at the same time, I also think that keeping the story as simple as it was also largely helped, because focusing on the kids and their interactions was so interesting. So hopefully this movie gets a big following on Disney+, so they learn that creativity and originality still pay off. Hopefully this doesn't fade into obscurity, because I haven't seen a lot of marketing for this movie either. So hopefully this movie gets really good word of mouth. Hopefully it gets a really big following so that they know originality and creativity do pay off. Stop making 10,000 sequels and remakes. This is a movie that's fantastic for the entire family. And if you grew up in the 80s, if you want the same feeling you had when you were a kid, you saw adventure movies like The Goonies, put this on, watch it with your kids. Everyone's going to get something out of it. So for me, Crater gets an A-, 9 out of 10, and 4 out of 5 stars.